3. I'll call the Planning Commission meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Grant.
Here.
Dunkert.
Here.
Hutton. Matthias.
Here.
Costa.
Here.
Split.
Here.
We have a form.
All right, is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? As approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from September 18th?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion there? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from September 18th say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? As approved. All right, so we'll have a public hearing for the planned unit development zoning request by, I always mispronounce your name, Mikovic? Miskovic. Lands LLC for the Lakeview Villas condominium project. The time is now 7:24. I will call that public hearing open. You've probably heard it all before, but if you'd like to go over just kind of
The highlights?
the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, in the materials for tonight, you saw the projection. This is a condominium project. We're starting out in phases, and the first phase is the one that has been shown on the diagrams, probably to go to that.
Which one do you want?
That last one, the one that shows the really nice picture of.
This one?
That's good, that's good.
A little.
Yeah. So basically, what the site plan is these are the original buildings that we're going to put into the project. This out here is would be the second or third phase, which we'd have to come back for. And the units are being constructed basically as two-story and one-story units. They're standalone units, but it's still a condominium project. So it's under your PUD, planned unit development, and conceptually, what it's going to do is the people that are going to maintain the project as it develops, and they'll take responsibility for the maintenance other than the public utilities that are being brought into the project, and they'll be coming off on what would be a private roadway, and it would, we have a lake here that we have to maintain. That's going to be maintained by the project. I don't know what more detail you want.
So just quick question.
Yeah.
This PUD is for its phase 1 only?
That's my
When you get to
understanding.
phase 2, you'll come back for another PUD or
Yeah,
expansion of this?
Because the concept is we may change the look of the buildings depending on where the market is.
Okay.
Right now, we think this is the market.
And are you planning any special building code requirements because of the PUD, such as zero lot line or?
No, there's no zero lot line, but we'll have proportionality of between the buildings so that they'll allow enough space to get in for emergency vehicles, et cetera.
So you're planning on meeting all current residential zone
Well,
building
not
code?
quite, because we're not on a public road,
Right.
so that doesn't gonna meet that requirement. But as far as if you take the totality of the space, we meet all the impervious surface requirements. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, Adam, but I think we do have enough, we're setbacks off definitely off the public roads, we're set back far enough, because we're on our own private roads.
And this maintains one lot with several owned condominiums?
That's
on the lot?
correct, correct.
Very good. That's all my questions.
Okay.
I've got just a slight question.
Sure.
So there'll be a private road. Are you expecting a lot of on-street parking or mainly just? Okay. The reason I question that is I see that there's kind of a proposed 32-foot paved surface width.
Right.
And newer state recommendations are to, especially in what would be a residential area, to bring that closer down to say 24 feet. That may not be in the plans, that may be set already, but that is just something that I would like to point out.
Yeah,
and ask.
the reason is for the swales, for the drainage systems. So you're gonna see a topography that will utilize part of that roadway, private roadway.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, normally a city would have a 66-foot roadway. Yes, you may have a paved area that's only 24 feet, but the reality is here, the nature of our roadway will be probably less than, probably closer to 20 feet paved, but you're gonna have the swale area that
The
will come
grading
down.
and for the drainage. Okay, very good.
One question I have, with the PUD, the city does not take ownership or plow? Garbage pickup is nothing?
It's a private road, so we'll do garbage pickup.
You will do,
Yeah,
okay.
but other than that, and maintain the utilities, the rest of it is basically maintained by the developer and/or property owners.
Has DPW looked at this with, a garbage truck going in, will he have to back out to get to the main road?
Yeah, we'll have to, so all of the reviews have been done from a engineering, so just to give a bigger answer to your question, so to answer more questions. We may have to talk about like turnaround radius at the back end of it at some point, which is fine. We're doing a turnaround at the end of, I think, Parkside as well. Steve, you can add anything.
Right, yeah. Right now, we're already doing a turnaround
Yep.
until we complete the rest of the roads. Ultimately, you'll have, when we're done, it'll all connect so that they can drive right around. So, but we'll put the turnarounds because we need the turnaround.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That'll happen.
it'll be a temporary turnaround with the first units
Yes.
constructed?
yes,
Okay,
right.
good.
But they have submitted all development plans to the city, so engineering for the extension of the road, they have gotten DNR approvals for those, and can start technically already. And then the rest of the development has been reviewed by MSA, and stormwater management, construction of utilities, all that has been signed off by MSA. So no other concerns from staff.
Well, to be official, I'll ask if anyone else from the public would like to speak, or the owners. No? All right, if there is no further public comment, I will close the public hearing at 7:30. And discussion for the commission. Or motions.
So to be clear, this is a motion to approve and recommend the common council authorize a planned unit development overlay district for the site.
I will make a motion to approve the proposed plan unit development zoning request as presented.
And recommend to council.
And recommend to council for approval.
I'll second.
Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all those in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved.
We'll put it on October 28th, just for council action.
So, yeah, we'll have a representative there. Somebody will be there for sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck on the project.
It was so fun waiting. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that was interesting.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to action item 2, surplus property designation for 433 Scott Street. This is a property that the city has owned in using as a possible well site. Well sites have been investigated throughout the town, and this has been deemed as not viable for a future well site. So we are asking that it is designated as surplus property so it can be sold.
So if nobody knows, you understand where this is kind of on
Yeah.
the rail. and
It's like by the Union Hall,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's what it
Yeah,
looks
It's right
like,
next to
yeah.
the Union
Between the
Hall.
Union Hall and the tracks.
Was that ever checked for contamination?
That's why it's not a well site.
Okay. Maybe that's a good question, maybe it's a bad question. Because I know it
Was
was
there something built on it previous, or?
the pickle factory.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the general,
That was a pickle factory?
That was the pickle factory.
yeah,
we get.
Okay.
Yeah.
it, while the site may have some contamination issues, the reality was the site was in close proximity to another property that has larger issues. So there's something else over there that had either been paint or gas or something more intense
That would have affected the
that
water table
would have
below.
affected the proximity to this site. So while there may be issues there, we don't know. The proximity to other sites in the well site investigation made this site not chosen.
And that little carve out at the bottom left of the property, that's owned by this railroad company, correct?
Yeah, it's all rail or DOT, depending on, yeah.
Very good.
And the city doesn't have any interest of having access back behind here for anything? I don't know what's beyond there, more south of the
I
parcel.
believe we currently have an easement to get to the backside of Saltbridge Park, or whatever that portion of the park is called.
On that side.
Stewart Park.
Stewart Park,
I
yeah.
can show you kind of
Yeah.
what's going on there.
Yeah, I suppose
we
if
can
the
maintain an
easement, yeah,
easement.
if the easement is maintained. then
There, I
there's
believe,
no
is an existing easement over the Union Falls property
Okay.
to access this
Mhm.
parcel through here.
Yes,
And
okay.
then there's this, because there's
There.
this connection right
Mhm.
here. Now,
Okay.
whether this connection is allowed, or I think it's been a point of concern by the rail in the
Yeah.
past, but people do access this parcel back here. We wouldn't necessarily have access to this parcel easily, or as easily. So there's still an easement here and a ability to access that property on what is, I believe, the Union Hall's property.
So for this property, no concerns.
No concerns.
Okay.
Because of the possible contamination, is it off limits then for housing?
No.
It's just because of the well water. It didn't work for the city. Yeah.
Literally what happens with the well site investigation is they take this site, and if there's anything
Mm-hmm.
within, like, say, I believe it's even like 1,000 feet or so,
That's
if there's
gonna be
anything,
a while.
they are like, the DNR says no.
Okay.
So,
There's probably an awful lot of vinegar in the ground there.
so what this would do is it'd be listed as surplus property. The city could then, or I could put it up for sale. If there's somebody who would like to acquire the property, that proposal would then be taken to the common council for consideration.
What is it currently zoned as?
I believe it is R1, but I can look at that quick.
Must have been I at one point, but
Might be,
Can't you pull that info from the?
yep, R1.
Yeah, we were zoned it.
So it's R1. So, yep. I guessed right.
I'll make a motion to designate 433 Scott Street as surplus property. Is there anything else I need to? Okay, I'll make a motion to designate 433 Scott Street as surplus property.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Well, maybe for Lud and Adam, I mean, is this the best thing for the city to get rid of it, or put it up for sale, or have the ability to sell it?
I think, I mean, there's been inquiries about the property.
Yeah,
I think, we could put it up for sale and see who's interested. Beyond that inquiry, we can bring whatever to the council. The highest and best use is likely not a use by the city at this
Okay.
point. So it's private, it's to get it back into private hands for some sort of development.
okay.
That would be ideal, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of see that as it's already in a, R1 area. There's been interest, or there's been indicated, people that would be willing to buy it. The city, I don't think we're gonna build, a new city hall or anything over there.
No,
So,
So I think it was
use that
taken
money
the entice pickle to get into the industrial park.
to move.
Yeah.
What it was
Probably.
all about. You remember, Jen?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I remember when they tore it down.
Yeah, yeah,
The rumor
yeah.
was the rats had no place to go. That's just a bad
But I
rumor.
think that was the ultimate intent, just to get them to move
Yeah.
out of that area and into a better site. I don't think we ever had any intention of using the property.
Yeah. Well, it was a good idea for the well, but if it's,
It's not, yeah.
yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of designating 433 Scott Street as surplus property, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Project updates and staff reports.
I don't have anything of any real importance right now that I can think of, so.
All right. Any future agenda items? No? All right. Anyone would like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I had to get a motion.
All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.